Packers and con artists, this is Internet Personality Vangelis, and are you preparing for a trip? Maybe something a little TFcon-ly, LA-ly, and you think card games are neat, as well as contained and playable starter experiences? Wow, stop reading my mind, perverts. It so happens that this weekend is the westerliest of TFcons, TFcon LA, the biggest Transformers fan convention of the year. And for the first time ever, it'll be 3 days long. That's 3 days of exclusives, star appearances, and crowd crushes galore. And one of those exclusive offerings, outside of the shocking lack of personal space, this year's premium Transformers TCG offering, the sequel-vibed TFcon Pack 2. TFcon Pack 2 contains 29 power-packed exclusive cards, 26 of which are devoted to the Transformers trading card game. You know, the same one that was launched by Hasbro and cut down at its height during the dark ages of 2020, but it's better than ever in the hands of the fans. Community releases like TFcon Pack 2 have kept the game going for the past 6 years. And to keep the convention card train going, the first 2,000-some people to show up at the Burbank TFcon Nexus will receive a copy of Pack 2 for free. That's a whole lot of Packs 2 at a whole lot of TFcon. And this pack comes freshly packed from the production factories of the TransformersTCG.org team. They're at the forefront to keep the original Transformers trading card game going with fresh cards, demonstrably available in the physical, content, gameplay, and events. Their team will be supporting the game on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at TFcon LA in the TCG room. Some of you frequent TFcon flyers might remember last year's TFcon Pack 1. Attendees received this nifty little brick of pretty Electrum cards, but you couldn't really play the game with it on its own without owning other cards. But there's been an evolution. This pack is different. This one's playable right out of the farm fresh plastic. TFcon Pack 2 is playable as a half deck, meaning it's half the size of a standard regulation Transformers TCG deck, but that means it's the right size for some breezy, quick play with other half-sized decks, including other TFcon Packs 2! TFcon Pack 2 features a pair of brand new triple troop buildable characters debuting in the now recurring chibi style of poker-sized artwork seen in .org's goodies. The Auto Trooper conventional patrol art was done by Snowy, while the Decepticon Seeker Air Warrior art was done by James Marsh. One educationally fresh addition for this year are these instruction cards. You're in fact watching a video right now which is going to show you the ropes for playing one of your first games, but in those at-the-table moments where you're looking to figure out how something works, wreathed in the heat of a sweltering gameplay exchange, these cards will come in handy. So you're sitting in line with 2,000 some other people waiting to get into the voice actor panel, or the third-party reveal panel, or the end-of-show TFcon organizer Q&A, wherein you can tell the aforementioned organizer all about how you want to continue seeing Transformers TCG representation at the show. What better time for abrupt introductions with your line neighbor and throwing down for a game? Conveniently, everyone in the line is likely to own the pack. To play a game of Transformers TCG with a fellow TFcon attendee, sit across from them at a table or similar shared flat surface, and prepare your TFcon Pack 2 for combat. Take the cover card, Cheetor, and Rhinox action cards, and advertisement card, and set those 4 cards aside. They'll just be watching from the sidelines. Take the 3 double-sided instruction cards and set them aside within reach for your referential convenience. Take the Auto Trooper Conventional Patrol and Decepticon Seeker Air Warrior character cards and set them in front of you. Make sure they're flipped with their alt mode sides upright at the beginning of the game. Take the remaining 20 battle cards, which will be all the ones with a matching TFTCG.org card back, and sufficiently randomize them however you see fit. If you do a riffle shuffle of particularly violent aplomb, be sure to call over one of the folks manning the TCG room first if you're there, so they can see what you're doing and appreciate your fine technique. Once you're done, your deck is ready. Set it to one side, face down, with room around it for a discard pile, referred to as the scrap pile in-game. Make sure your friend across the table also did these setup steps. If they refuse, you automatically win the game, and are what card game players referred to as a mad-goated pub stomper. Once you've navigated the setup, determine who goes first. Then both players draw 3 cards from their decks into their hands. You're ready to play. A turn of Transformers TCG involves the following steps. Draw one card from your deck and put it into your hand. Next, in any order of your choosing, you may flip one character card, you may play one action card from your hand for its immediate effect, and you may play one upgrade card from your hand onto one of your character cards. The card type can be seen listed right below its name, and yes, there are a few subtypes, but actions and upgrades are the two primary families. For now, just be aware that characters can't be equipped with more than one of each upgrade type, but you are free to replace an upgrade on them with one of the same type by first moving the current upgrade off the character and into your scrap or discard pile. By the way, you can not only do these three things in any order of your choosing, but also choose not to do any of them if you don't feel that it's a relevant thing to do on a given turn. Remember, I said you may before each of those things. You can do all three, only one or two, or simply skip this step entirely. You might have noticed that the Decepticon Seeker's robot mode has an effect that begins with when you flip to this mode. That will fire off anytime the Decepticon Seeker flips from their alt mode to their bot mode, but not the other way around. After that step, it's fight time. If you have any untapped character cards, which is to say any character cards that have not been turned sideways, you must choose one to be this turn's attacker. You must, not may. In Transformers TCG, violence is mandatory. Once you've chosen an attacker, turn that character card sideways, rendering it tapped. Then choose your target from among your opponent's character cards. You must pick a tapped target if possible, and you can only choose an untapped target if there are no tapped targets. The attacking player will now flip over and reveal the top two cards of their deck, placing them prominently in view on the table. Ignore the card text of these two flipped cards and only look at the colorful icon or icons on the top right. If any of those icons are white, flip and reveal two more cards off the top of the deck and add them to the initial two. If you reveal further white icons, ignore them. You only get the bonus flips once per combat. The defending player will now do the same thing, flipping two cards off the top of their deck. If they reveal a white icon, flipping two more cards. The attacking player takes note of their attacking character's current listed attack value. Then they add up the total number of revealed orange icons from their flipped cards and add that number to the attack value for their total attack value. The defending player does likewise, but rather than attack value, they are looking at the defending character's defense value, and rather than counting up and adding orange icons, they count up and add blue icons from their flipped cards to determine their total defense value. Subtract the total defense value from the total attack value. If the number hasn't dipped down to 0, then that is how many damage counters the defending player places onto their defending character, representing attack damage taken. Now, you'll have to find a way to track the damage on the characters. A lot of people use dice, but I am a proud comrade of the humble flippable damage tokens. For impromptu games at the show, you can use any spare coins in your pocket, or even track health by writing it on a piece of paper or a napkin. The TransformersTCG.org team has dice available for loan for games in the TCG room, and they even have some fancy dice for sale, custom made for the game. If a character ever has damage counters equal to or greater than their health value, that character is KO'd and moved from the main area on the table to the KO zone, a sad place off to the side, and all of their upgrades are scrapped. Whoever KOs all of their opponent's characters first is the winner. The final step of a turn is one of cleanup and upkeep. All flipped battle cards and played action cards are put into the scrap or discard pile. Then, if all non-KO'd characters on the table are tapped, untap all of them. Otherwise, leave them be. Either way, proceed to the other player's next turn. Before this basic gameplay rundown concludes, I'll quickly explain the two additional action types in your TFcon pack, represented by the cards Hidden Fortification, Lie in Wait, and Take the Shot. Hidden Fortification is a secret action. These are played face down and remain on the table until the end of your opponent's next turn, at which point they go into your scrap pile. If the card's reveal trigger is ever satisfied, flip the secret action face up and execute its effect. In Hidden Fortification's case, reveal it if one of your characters becomes the defending character. This provides them with Tough 3, which means you will flip an additional 3 cards off the top of your deck as the defender after your initial 2 to 4 flips. Lie in Wait and Take the Shot are rolling actions. These are played face up but tapped. It's like they're sleeping in, much akin to a toy trade addict after pulling an all-nighter wheeling deals in the lobby. You know who you are. Anyway, they remain on the table, untapping at the beginning of your next turn, and continue to remain on the table until you choose to use them. You may use a rolling action whenever its scrap trigger could be satisfied. When you do, scrap it by moving it to your scrap pile and execute its listed effect. In the case of these 2 cards, they provide a Bold 1 or Tough 1 effect, which work just like the one I described for Hidden Fortification. Bold simply does the same thing, but for an attacking character. If you were to trigger and reveal Hidden Fortification and choose to trigger and scrap Lie in Wait, your defending character would reap the benefit of Tough 4. Yes, effects like these are cumulative. That concludes this basic gameplay instructional segment. There are many more keywords, nuances, and edge cases in Transformers TCG, so be sure to check the reminder texts on both sides of your 2 character cards, and always feel free to ask for help from somebody who is manning the TFcon TCG room. With all that said, your senses do not deceive you if you suspect that one TFcon Pack 2 is pretty powerful preliminary player empowering stuff. But have you seen the erupting reaction of 2 TFcon Packs 2 in reciprocal, convergent resonance? As has long been studied in nature, when one TFcon Pack 2 sees another TFcon Pack 2 in the wild, they collide and dock into each other, creating a regulation deck. That's right, that half deck you've been playing others with? That's only half the story. 2 together will create a standard Transformers TCG deck. And if your buddy happens to have 2 TFcon Packs 2 as well, you can play a standard game of Transformers TCG with them. Double the Auto Troopers, double the Seekers, double the battle cards, double the action! Furthermore, these packs are completely back-compatible with both official Transformers TCG cards and other community cards, just like these new 2026 goodies. These goodies are also making their in-person debut at TFcon LA. Be aware that if you do want to combine these community cards with your collection of official cards, you'll want to use some opaque card sleeves. These cards have community back designs to avoid pesky trademark questions at the printer. Slap some sleeves on them and your fingers won't be able to tell the difference. But also concentrate on the game. Cut it out with all the Kibler card fondling. Oh, I'm not sure if I should be revealing this so brazenly, so did you know that in the Transformers TCG you can have up to 3 copies of a given battle card in your deck? And maybe you noticed that both characters in TFcon Pack 2 have got a keyword feature called Horde 3? Food for thought. Gristle for the Mind Palace, Chum for the Brain Sharks, Enter Chum for the computational shark debates. Of course, Bill Moo and the rest of the TransformersTCG.org team will be manning the TCG room at the show if you're looking to learn the game and even acquire some relevant cardboard. All on-hand cardstock will be $5 off at the show, so you'll be saving recurring intervals of 5 United States of America dollars. You'll find ways to repurpose those intervals of 5 United States of America dollars for personal enrichment at the show, I'm sure. Incidentally, I think the blind draw foil cards being offered in the room are 5 of those intervals. Consider taking a chance in service of basic primal bling. After the show, or if the TFcon LA bus passed you by for this round, use the promo code VANGELOSANGELES on their donation storefront at TransformersTCG.org for 5% off, which will be active until July 6th. As a massively relevant aside, the team just put in a lot of work to open up international shipping for a limited number of products. It's scary out there, folks. Oh, rumor has it, if you yell hey.org in the TCG room, you'll get a free promo too? Rewarding if you're looking to establish new collection dominance in the room early. Oftentimes, the TCG room is just a chill place at the show to get away from the crush of the dealer room, so also consider stopping by if you're looking for an oasis of quietude amidst the fan frenzy. Plus, Bill and the team are friendly and fanciful folk. Be sure to ask Bill about all the great games he and I have shared across the table with one of my signature decks, featuring Chrome Dome, Sentinel Prime, and sometimes Perceptor. Shout out to Bill Moo and the TransformersTCG.org team for shooting these cards my way despite the current regime of international shipping adventures. Make cards, not war. And come TFcon Toronto, I'm sure I'll be around to roughly shuffle cards and make plays at the show myself. Would you like me to show you my double sleeving technique? Or maybe provide some insight into one of my signature decks featuring Chrome Dome, Sentinel Prime, and sometimes Perceptor?